like the next step up from a podcast. You know?
I see. Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
whenever you're ready. And they have a YouTube channel section, so we
Yeah.
do, video interviews. So.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm here with Mr. Howard Sherman, of course, Bub, probably the most famous zombie in movie history. In a movie like Day of the Dead, where most of the human characters, many of them are despicable, in this case, the zombies become rather heroic, and none more so than Bub himself. What's the kind of reaction you get from the fans? What do they seem to say about Bub? How they feel about him? When they talk to you.
Well, it's really, I must say, I get a lot of very high praise, and it really means a lot to me. Because people are moved by the character. I think they're moved by, on the one hand, his response to the music when the doctor puts the headphones on and
showing some glimpse of former memories and human emotion, and there's something behind the dead stare that's living, that's a wisp of what once was, and that in a way you feel for the character, because he's trying to grasp onto something that was once there.
Well, there are still a few dim synapses still popping, apparently, and enough so that he's moved by Beethoven, and then again when the doctor is found, when he finds the doctor dead, he has this emotional response, which so I think the fact that people adhere to the character, and of course you can never go wrong killing the bad guy at the end. I think the real high point of Bub's functioning, I mean the point where that exhibits really the most sophisticated a bit of zombie intelligence, is probably when he salutes at the end, because that's nothing short of irony. And irony is a pretty high, you can't be a moron and experience irony, so.
Well, I was going to bring up the salute at the end. That's one of the most, for a zombie, it's a rather triumphant moment, that salute,
well, I think killing a bad guy and saying screw you is probably a triumphant moment for anybody.
Exactly. Even more so for a zombie, because that's quite an accomplishment too.
Well, I know they're really set upon. They're really misunderstood, and really nobody likes them very well. So.
And how often do you do these conventions? How many you plan on doing this year?
Oh, they come up. I do, I don't know, a few a year. I don't do very many of them. It's.
In this particular case, it's quite a grand accomplishment for the convention to get so many of the actors that were in all the Dead movies, all of them, including the new Diary of the Dead.
Yeah, well, it's always, it's a good thing if you can get all of the zombie people in one spot, because that brings out the zombie fans.
Well, yeah, and just in terms of a iconic